When I was around 21, 22 years old, I invested all the money that I had in a program. And this story is very important to me because in this investment, I received a breakthrough and a lesson that was unexpected, but it changed everything for me in my life. And back then, I was looking for guidance in my coaching. And I didn't want to get this $5 coaching certification you can get online and call yourself a coach. I wanted to be taught by the best of the best. So first, I was looking into Tony Robbins to be taught by him, but he is very inaccessible. So that's when I started to look into Brendon Burchard, because he was also someone I really looked up to. And I realized that he had a coaching program. So a program specifically for coaches. So I signed up, I made an investment of 15K. This was all the money that I had back then. And if you've ever made a big investment in your life, you know how scary this is. And it's not about the number, it's about what feels big for you in this stage of your life. And I was putting everything on the line. And I was coming into this as in, I'm going to learn how to build a coaching practice, the marketing, how to coach with his program, to network with successful coaches. And yes, I was learning and getting all of these things, but there was also something that I received that was worth the complete investment that I did not expect. I come from a very small town. So I need to drive for at least an hour to get to a decently sized city of 500,000 people. So going for the first time to the US, to California, and being in Los Angeles and San Diego, this was already shifting something inside of me. Like, it was a completely different experience with the tall buildings. And when I walked into the hotel, I saw groups of people talking to each other. And this is when I felt my anxiety levels rising, because I thought, oh, they are there for the certification as well. Or they are there for the event. And they already know each other. I didn't even know if they were from the event, but my mind was thinking this. And that's when I felt anxious, like, oh, what if I don't know anybody? What if I'm the only one coming from a different country that is the outsider? So luckily I could slow down a little bit. I checked in, went to my hotel room, had a good night of sleep. And the next day, there was the sign up for the certification to get your tag, to get the goodie bag. So I was standing in line, and the people behind me were talking with each other, and the people in front of me were talking to each other. So I was the only one in line that wasn't talking to anyone. So again, my anxiety levels were rising. Like, I felt as an outsider, because I was looking around, all the people were easily twice my age. I was the youngest person there. No one in their early 20s signed up for something like this. And so I was the youngest. I was from a completely different country. I didn't know anybody. And maybe some background information, I was socially anxious. Like, this was one of the hardest things that I had to overcome. Like, I was so afraid in social situations. That's why I don't even think, like, what was I thinking even signing up for something like this, being around people in a completely different country? So my anxiety levels were rising. So when I signed up, I got my tag, I got my goodie bag, and I was standing there in the conference room looking around. Everybody was talking to someone except for me. And this is when I was getting close to a panic attack. So I was so afraid in that moment that I ran back to my hotel room. I went up the elevator to my hotel room, and I sat on bed, and just tears started to run down my face. Like, I had to control myself because I was close to a panic attack. I was constantly thinking, like, I can do this, I can do this, I can do this. I don't belong here. And I thought, like, this is not it. I'm going to stay here. I'm not going back out of my room, because I was too afraid. I was too scared. And this is why I'm also a bit more spiritually oriented, because I was so immersed in this experience of anxiety and fear. But something came to me, a level of, let's say, confidence. Something just slapped me back to reality, as in, you invested all the money that you've had to be here. You are the youngest person here. You're from a completely different country. Your first time in the US, you deserve to be here. And there was something inside of me talking to me like this. And this is when I had, let's say, enough confidence to make a commitment. When I walk out of this room, like, I'm not going to let this anxiety and fear dictate my whole experience of this investment. This is a once in a lifetime experience. So I made the commitment. When I step foot out of my hotel room, I will approach the first person that I see with a tag that is from this event. So I just washed my face a little bit, that it didn't see like I had a complete meltdown and breakdown. So I went out of my hotel room and I saw an Indian family coming and walking towards me, no tech. I saw people walking down the hallway, going back to their rooms, no tech. And I was at the elevator, doors opened, and I saw 3 people standing inside of there, no tech. And this is when already the anxiety level started to rise again, because I was getting close to the conference room and I haven't seen anybody with a tech yet from the certification. So when more people came into the elevator, no tech again. So this is when, when you feel fear and your whole body turns cold, but you're sweating at the same time as if you're in a sauna. And I was shaking in the elevator, like I didn't think I could do it. And I was just constantly repeating to myself, I'm going to approach the first person that has a tech. I'm going to approach the first person. I'm going to say hi to the first person. And when I got to the bottom floor and the elevator doors opened, I saw a woman walking with a green tag. So this was the tag from the certification. So I pushed people to the side from the elevator, jumped in front of her and said, hi, I'm from the certification. What brought you here? So I made the most uncalibrated approach I could do. Like she jumped in the air because I jumped in front of her. Like she was afraid at first. And this is where sometimes I think things are meant to be, because I approached in that moment the most extroverted person I could have approached. She was so excited. She started to talk for 10 minutes straight. So all I had to do was be silent and listen. And this gave me some time for my nervous system to really calm down. And she started to introduce me. She asked me like, are you new here? Like, are you for the first time here? And I'm like, yes, I don't know anybody. And she started to introduce me to 5 different people. She interrupted a group of 10 people, which was to me mind-blowing back then. And she introduced me to everyone. So then I was immersed in that group of 10 people and I started to talk to people. That commitment, like the level of confidence and freedom I experienced by saying hello to her. I broke through one of my biggest fears. Overcoming the fear, like overcoming that almost panic attack and still being able to say hello to her. The level of confidence and freedom I experienced on the other side, it didn't matter what information I got from the certification. It didn't matter what people I met in the certification. That action changed everything for me. Because every single day at the certification, I was introducing myself to people. I was saying hello to people, something that I have never ever done in my life. No one could give me that level of confidence that I experienced through that action. That action, overcoming that fear, was worth my whole investment. Because this changed everything in my life. The way that I network, the way that I talk to people, the social freedom I experience when I'm in different environments. It changed everything. And that's why information is not usually the thing that creates a transformation. This is something, when I think back at that moment and like this, if you think back at the most impactful moments and impactful stories of your life, they're usually related to you being in a situation that feels impossible. Being in a situation where you don't think you can do it, and you do it anyway, and you commit. What I realized is the biggest breakthroughs that I'm looking for is not by consuming more information, someone telling me what to do. It's about consistently overcoming the fears. It's about meeting my edge. Where is my edge? Where don't I think I can do something? Where do I feel that my identity and the stories I have about myself and the world around me are threatened because of this action that I'm about to take? These are the kind of positions that I want to put myself in consistently and move past it. I want to meet my edge and move past it. This is where the breakthroughs are that you're looking for. I didn't know back then, but something gave me the commitment, something gave me the confidence to take that action anyway. So that's why if you think you need more productivity hacks, if you think you need more information, if you think you know how to write an email or send a cold message to someone, you don't need any of this. What you need to look for is cut off all the noise. And what is that bold move? What is that action that you're afraid to take? And do that thing. Put yourself in environments where your identity is threatened, where you are triggered to that extent, because that will give you all the breakthroughs that you're looking for. So this is one of the stories for me and one of the investments that shifted everything for me, because that's when I no longer was hiding behind, I'm an introvert and I'm just socially anxious. This is where I started to learn the skills of being an extrovert, learning the skills of how to network with people. So that's that.